Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to this lesson. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you step by step how to build an effective lead magnet flow inside of ManyChat in your chatbot. So the reason we utilize lead magnet in the marketing process is because it's such an easy way to provide a value. This value could be a PDF, could be a video, could be an audio clip, could be anything, some sort of have a value attached to it in return for your subscribers' email address. So they give you email address, in return, you drop them this PDF. After building this flow, we're going to connect the growth tool. So we'll have a link generated, so you can share this link to any people you want, and they click on the link, they will be able to experience this flow and redeem their PDF. All right, without further ado, let's have some fun and let's dive into it. First thing first, I create a new folder called this lead magnet download flow. All right, open this folder. I'm going to create a new flow. Let's call this lead mag intro. Whatever name you prefer, this is just the name I go with, and click on create. We're going to touch on many tips and tricks and nuggets in this video, so definitely stick through it. So first thing we want to do is come to your welcome message, right? This is the first message they get to see. The message looks like this: welcome first name. Tap the button below to get the PDF straight into your inbox. And version number 2 I normally go could be hey, right? When you do hey first name, sometimes if the system couldn't detect their first name, then simply click on this first name. You're gonna see this option called fallback, right? Fallback is just in case there's no access to the data of their first name. So we can do hey there. Okay, that's a really common trick. So hey there instead of hey empty. So I'm gonna remove that, and let's stick through with let's stick to the method 1, which is welcome first name. Tap the button below to get the PDF delivered straight into your email inbox. All right, and now what we want to do is we want to create a card. Card is really good in terms of this kind of situation, either card or gallery. These two I use most often. So in the card section, we can attach or upload an image. There is a title section, there's a subtitle section, and you can add up to 3 buttons right underneath here. And in the image section, this is 16:9 ratio, so it's kind of like a horizontal image. You click on this, it will switch to 1:1 square image. And then in terms of graphic design is a key. Because if you think about it, in terms of marketing, if you get them into your door, they look at the first image is the first impression. That's why it's such a key to post something really good quality here. So I have 2 images. That's image number 1 and that's image number 2. This is the ebook that I designed for my client. I designed it from scratch, including all these mock-ups and all these beautiful graphs. I'm not going to talk about in depth of how you should design your graphics. However, in a different module, in a later on module, I want to include a section. I want to share with you all my tips and tricks and secret sauce about how to get high quality graphics, where to find them and how to swap them, how to quickly make these professional images, like good quality images, so your subscribers are really excited to redeem this PDF, okay? So in this case, we're going to use this image. There's one more small little trick here. So this is another good habit you should have, is that this is my image information, right? This image takes up 3 megabytes of space. So if you think about it, if I upload this to ManyChat, this image is quite large. Every time it will take subscriber a long time to load up these images, especially if they're not home, they don't have a Wi-Fi access. Mainly a lot of people are out there on a subway or on a train or on a bus, so right, they use their cellular data, so they might not have that fast of loading speed. So that's really important. What you need to do is to compress this image. There are 2 sites I come to a lot for image compression. So the first one is called a tiny PNG. The only thing is it allows maximum of 5 megabyte for each image. If I drag and drop my image onto this box, you're going to see that immediately it shrunk from 3 megabytes down to 580 KB. So this is significant. And second image, just in case if your image is more than 5 megabytes, you can come to the second website. It's called compresspng.com. The links are in the description. You can go ahead and find them there. If I drag and drop on here, it's going to quickly upload it, compress it. As you can see that we reduced 72% of this entire image. That's significant reduction, all right? If I click on download, either sites work perfectly and it's sitting in my download folder. All you need to do is click on upload image and come to download. It's sitting right here and it should load up really fast. This versus the 3 megabyte, huge difference. Under title section, I normally do something like this: PDF, exclusive training guide. You can name whatever your PDF names is here. And then in the subtitle section, I normally like to do this type of tricks. So basically you can write sentences here, but what I like to do more often is I want to just display the highlights, the bullet points of this specific PDF or this lead magnet, okay? So in here, what you want to do is, I'm a Mac user. On my Mac, I click on Control, Command, Space. It would load up this emoji keyboard. And in here, I just search dot, and then you can see there's this dot. If I insert that dot, really important is to add a space after any emoji. So copywriting, it looks more comfy that way, okay? And I'm gonna copy paste this dot and paste it underneath the second line. So that is more like the bullet points of this highlight of this lead magnet, okay? It's looking pretty nice right now. So now we wanna add one button. So this button is going to say tap to download. I wanna add in one more emoji here in front of tab. Let's create this blue little book here. Okay, and add a space again, always. And then now that's my beautiful button. And you can add up to 3 buttons, but in this case, let's just do one call to action. And it's purely concentrated call to action. And now what we want to do is we want to grab their first name, their last name, their email. If you want to ask them any questions, you can go ahead and do so. So we're going to create a new one. And in here, we want to do a user input. All right, we want to remove this first box here. Enter your question. We're going to enter what's your first name. In the reply type, we want to toggle it from text down to first name. So this way, their input will be saved as a system field. As always, you want to scroll down. You see the skip button section. You want to remove this skip. We don't want them to skip here. And that's it for that. And then we want to create one more user input. This one will be what's your last name, because this one we saved it to first name system field, and second one we want to say what's your last name. Or in your case, if you just want to grab their first name, that works too, but let's just cover both scenario that you want to get their full name. So in here again, we want to toggle from reply type down to last name, and then this will automatically save last name to system field. Okay, scroll down, and then we want to delete this skip, so there's no skip allowed here. We have one extra step, which is their email address. Let's grab this user input and let's change this reply type down to email, and now immediately you're going to see these 2 toggles. In this case, we want to leave the first one on, okay? We want to turn off the second one because I want to manually grab their consent, their agreement that we're able to send email to their inbox. It's really important you want to grab consent first. You want to have an agreement. You don't want to just grab their email address and keep sending them email, right? Without their agreement. You always want to ask for permission first before you send out any email. So enter question is going to be, what's your email address? That's my question. Again, scroll down a little bit, skip button, let's remove that skip, and this way you see we can have their first name, last name, and an email address. That's it. And now next step is the email consent. So this is what the consent form looks like. In order to send the PDF to your email inbox, please click on I agree to confirm receiving emails from us. You always want to ask permission. Now, what if this person already agreed receiving email from you from any other flow? So there's no point of coming here and ask their agreement one more time, right? They click on agree. There's no point of doing that extra step. So the way we gate them out, we segment them, is to quickly split the traffic. The way we do that is to create a condition. And in this condition, we're going to quickly do email opt-in, okay, is true or false. If it's a true, that means this person already agreed on receiving emails from us. And if it's false, that means this person has not yet agreed on receiving emails. That's why we want to have a permission first. So logistically speaking, you always want to ask permission after you grab the email, and you always want to give it a check to see if this person opting is true or false. If it's true, then you're allowed to send them an email. If it's false, then ask for permission first. Let's deal with this second option here, I do not agree. If they say I do not agree, you're going to say, unfortunately, we won't be able to send you the PDF. Right? Connect these two. And then we give them one option says try again. So this is going to be a quick reply. We replied it as try again. When they click on this little quick reply, let's loop them back into here. If I click on try again, it's going to come back to this consent form again to ask for permission, right? And then basically we created a little loop here. They have to sort of agree to us in order to redeem this PDF. If they click on I agree, normally what you go right after I agree should be an action. And then this action, let's scroll down. So set email opt-in. So this is basically turning email opt-in to true, because they clicked on I agree, so email opt-in should be true. So now we covered this scenario of if the email opt-in is false, the person never agreed receiving email, then they should go through this consent process. And then what if this person already agreed on receiving email from us, he left his name and the email, then we should jump into the delivery process right away. There's two tricks you can do. First trick you can do is you can select this card, right? You see it turned green on the edge. It has a border now. If I click on Command C, that's a copying this card. If I click elsewhere, click on Command V, it's going to automatically paste this card. It creates a duplicate version, right? Let's remove this one. The second method is if you hold down Option key on your keyboard and you can drag and drop pretty much anything. For example, like here, you see I created a duplicate version, and the same rules apply here. If I hold down to Option, drag and drop, I created a duplicate version here because we want to keep this graphic. That's why we want to work with this little template we had here. So the verbiage here is perfect. Here's your ebook. I also sent a PDF to your email. Make sure you check your email inbox or spam folder. It's really important you mention spam folder here, just in case this person, sometimes the email goes into a person's spam folder. You want them to go double check, otherwise they're gonna come back to say that I didn't receive the email. So we want to change this button to this, tap to view, okay? And let's actually change this emoji to magnifying glasses. Always add a space right after the emoji. Visually, it's more comfortable to view. So tap to view. How do you store this PDF? That's a really good question. Is that I personally use Google Drive a lot, also for my clients as well. I have this PDF, right? This is just a test PDF. It's not an ebook. This is just an image of different colors. I'm going to drag and drop into my Google Drive folder. You can create a folder if you wish. You want to right click on this file and you want to get link. And you want to switch this restricted to anyone with a link. You see it turned green. You want to copy this link, click on done, and you're done with this Google Drive process. And click on tap to view, and you want to open website, and you want to paste the URL here. So this way, when people click on this button, they can actually open up on their browser, on their messenger. They can actually view and preview this entire PDF. And just click on done. That's the delivering process. Since this opt-in email is true, we're going to directly connect to this card. So we are delivering this PDF to them. Meanwhile, remember, we've sent an email to them. So let's create an email process here. So if you come to next step here, so that means when a person receives this card, it will automatically go to the next step as well. We want to create a new email, which is the third option. Make sure you come to your settings, come to email, and you want to get your email connected. You want to enable your email channel. And here you might able to enter your contact information, your company or organization name, or your address and all that stuff. And then by default, ManyChat branding is enabled. and you can just switch it to disabled. So email, there's no ManyChat, any branding in the email. Okay, let's come back to our email now. Click on this email, and the subject line is going to be, here is your PDF. And then again, the pre-header, you can do whatever you want to do. In here, I just said, click the button below to view and download your PDF file. We're going to click on design. You definitely want to beef it up a little bit. You don't want to be too simple. So in this case, just for this demonstration purpose, I want to keep everything simple. So you can drag and drop any element you want to. There's divider, there's images and buttons. I want to drag and drop an image. Let's load up this image one more time. So you can actually choose different size. It could be small, medium, large, and original. Let's keep it large for now, and you can do different alignment and additional settings. You can do all these different tweaks. And now I'll come to the button. I want to change this button to download PDF, and the link is going to be open website. Remember this link. I want to grab this link one more time, grab a copy and paste it right here. Click on done, and this is it. This is how the email looks like. You can create some more verbiage here, you know, some highlights, why this book is so important, why you should have it. These are all marketing tactics, right? By the way, you can actually tweak with a different background color or different letter colors. You can do many different settings here, okay? For the button too, you can change the button color if you want to match your branding color. So in this case, I just kept it blue. So close it for now. And then this is how the email looks like. The bottom option, this path, what we want to do is when they click on I agree, we want to set their email opt-in to true. And then we want to link it to this card. So we deliver to them, also deliver the email as well, right? So one path goes from here up to here, and the second path, after they click on I agree, they come back here. If they click on I do not agree, it will show up this message, and they click on try again, we loop them back into this consent form until they click on I agree, and it will take them out of this path and to this card. This is how I normally construct things, right? Where I build it the macro, and now we want to go in the detail, the micro, to find any fine tune, any optimization or updates we can do. If you come to your home, if you come to overview, you're going to see this tab. This tab is showing you how many email you've been sending. So basically how it works is that you have a 30,000 daily limits you can send. I never went beyond this number unless you have some really large subscriber bot, okay? And then you can send out free emails, 5,000 of them every month. And after 5,000, I think it's like a penny or something per email. It's still pretty cheap. So there's one scenario. What if this person keep coming back this flow? He went through 10 times. Basically, we delivered email and all these 10 times, right? So what we want to do quickly is that, let me move this email a little bit to the right. Right after they receive this card, and we want to add an action step in between these two, okay? How that looks like is, let me disconnect this line. I'm going to create an action step, and I'm going to link it back to this email. So in this action step, I'm going to quickly tag them. So in here, I created a tag. I called it lead magnet delivered. So this way, this tag shows me a lot of information here. If I see a person have this tag appeared, that means this person has successfully redeemed this lead magnet, which is this PDF, right? So in this case, what I recommend you is, if you have a lot of lead magnets, you definitely don't want to use one tag. You probably want to customize the tag name. Normally you can add a date in front of lead magnet delivery, or you can actually change this to whatever the name makes sense to you. This could be a campaign name, or the lead magnet name, or the ebook name, as long as it makes sense to you, and you can say delivered. Okay, that's the keyword there to tell me that this is the tag, shows me the person has already received the lead magnet from us. So right from there, we can do a really quick optimization here, is that if the person click on tap to download, and wouldn't that be nice if I know if it downloaded or not? So the way we do it, let's create a condition. And this condition, we're going to check the tag. The tag is delivered. If this person click on this button, and then I'm going to detect to see if this person has this tag. If this person has this tag, that means this person had already previously gotten this PDF from us. On the other hand, if this person doesn't have this tag, let them go through this entire flow. That means he's new to this flow. In terms of how we deal with this situation, if the tag appears, then a really simple way we do it is this. Let's connect these two right now. So we're gonna create a new message to tell them, hey, I see that you already received this PDF, and here it is. We want to create two buttons here. Button number one is to let them, because they already got the PDF, so let them view this PDF inside of the messenger. Option number two is, what if this person lost the email and he want to get an email one more time from you? That's why we want to provide them one more option here to say, hey, email me another copy because the previous one I lost it or I couldn't find it. So in this case, we're going to create a new message to say, hey, perfect. A new copy of the PDF has sent to your email inbox. And then if I connect this line with this email, all right, and now basically this will automatically trigger this message and trigger an email sent directly to their inbox. And this tap to view button, you want to paste the Google Drive link here so people can have access and to view it inside of their messenger. And there's a tiny two little things I want to do is number one, I want to be able to track this button, right? I want to be able to see if this lead magnet is effective in terms of delivering this lead magnet to people's email. And do people actually click on this? So the way we can do it is you see this little yellow circle, you click, drag and drop, we can create a new small little mini action here. And in here, we want to create a new tag. In this tag, I normally do email download button clicked. Again, if you have a lot of different lead magnet, you want to separate them, then you want to modify the name accordingly. According could be a date, it could be campaign name or lead magnet name. So in this case, I just kept it really simple. Email download button clicked. So later on, if I check this tag, I will see how many people actually clicked on this link in the email. Okay, this is a really good trackable process. There's one more step. I strongly recommend you, this is a good habit to have, which is every time when a person redeems the PDF from us, I want to be able to store that data on a Google Sheet. Again, there's many benefits to this. Just in case anything happened down the road, number one, anything happened down the road to ManyChat or to your bot, you have all these data stored on a Google Sheet and you can upload to your CRM or anything like that. And number two, if everything is on the sheet, I'll be able to do some analysis, some equations and formulas. I can show you guys down the road to quickly do some analysis to see which month got how many PDF download, all that data related stuff, okay? So let's quickly build this out. You want to come to your Google Sheet. Google Sheet is a free platform, right? Just like Excel sheets. If you have a Gmail account, it's completely free. So click on plus. We want to create a new blank sheet. I want to call this lead magnet delivery data. And the first row, I always use these ones a lot. This include timestamp, what time and what date they redeem this PDF, their first name, last name, gender, time zone, user ID, and most importantly, the email. So let me quickly select these columns and let's stretch them out a little bit. And from H all the way down to Z, we don't need them. I'm going to remove and delete these columns. Just keep it really nice and tight. And this tab, I want to rename this tab. I just randomly call this delivery list, okay? And that's pretty much it. This is all you need to do. Come back to my flow. Think about where we need to insert this action step. It's actually right here. You see, because the person got this tag, right on this action step, we want to create a new action. Scroll down, you want to find Google Sheet action, and you want to select this Google Sheet, insert role. You definitely want to come to settings, integration to make sure your Google Sheet is connected and it's integrated here. So this way, ManyChat is able to pull all the sheet data that I have in my Google Drive. This is the one we created. And if I click on it, it will automatically load up the worksheet, which is this one, delivery list. You see, it automatically detected all the columns. All we need to do here is connect the puzzles. It's really simple. The timestamp, I normally go with the last interaction. So this is the last interaction. This could be a button or a reply they do. Last time they interacted with our bot. Click on that. And now first name, I want to do search for first name, print it on this column, and last name, print it on this column, gender, and time zone. You see, you're literally typing it and find the right one and to connect to the right column. And user ID, this is a system field, and most importantly is the email here. This is the system field email. Okay, click on save, and that's it. So now not only we deliver everything to them, we also got the agreement. Okay, we got the permission to send email to them. All right, we got their opt-in as a true. So whoever come out from this flow, you should be able to send them email freely any point beyond here. And not only that, we have this little segment here to make sure we can tell who grabbed it already previously or who just newly came to this flow and want to grab this for the first time. And last but not least, we store everything on a Google Sheet, so everything is sitting here nicely. So later on, again, I will show you guys some really nice tricks and tips you should know on Google Sheet that can quickly help you to do some analysis on the data. If you want to become a good chatbot developer, you definitely need to play around with the data. And that's pretty much it. If I click on publish, it's all green, content published, so everything is looking nicely. So what we want to do here is that we want to test out everything. Always and always, you want to test first, right? You don't want to just build everything and put it out. You always want to go through yourself to make sure everything is nice. See if there's any improvement you can make or any bug you found, right? These are good to always preview it first. I'm going to click on preview, and this should trigger my messenger, and let's open it up. So that's how it looks like, right? Welcome, tap the button below. If I click on tap to download, and it's going to ask me what's your first name, and I'm going to type my first name, and what's your last name, that's my last name, and what's your email address, it automatically remember my email address. There we go, perfect. An ebook has been delivered to your inbox. Right? Give it a few seconds, you should be able to see an email come in right there. If I open up this email, this is how the email looks like. You know, the graphics and the button, right? And if I come back to the flow, I'm able to open and tap to view this PDF like this. And people can do further things here. They can download and all that stuff. So it's working beautifully. And if I come to the Google Sheet, you're going to see my role is created right here. That's the time and date. And that's the first name, last name, gender, and time zone, and ID, and email, and all that stuff. So everything is working beautifully. A few things I want to mention to you before I go here is that number one, this method works well if you want them to manually typing their name. There's another method you can do. I'm going to quickly build it out for you. Could you tap to confirm your full name? And in the quick reply section, we can actually create this little toggle and we can search full name, and this system field full name will be able to display here, or we can give them another option says other name. So if they click on this other name, we can do a new message and to do user input. And in this user input, I created this is a text field, and I normally created a full name. I created a new custom field, called it full name other, or full name prefer, or full name update, whatever works for you. I just basically store their manual input into a custom field like this, and then when they type their full name here, it will store on this field. If the system has their name on it, it will automatically populate here. All they need to do is click on this once to confirm. If you want them to tap instead of type, this will be a really good options to go with. So either or, whatever method you prefer, I would recommend both options to you. You can actually build them out yourself, try them out to see which one you prefer and you like and is more convenient, and you can stick through that method. So this way, just keep it everything nice and well organized. Last but not least, we want to create a growth tool, which is called rough URL. So this basically will connect this flow with a link a ManyChat link. So when people click on this link, they will be able to discover this flow and to experience this flow, okay? So the way we do it is traditionally we would come to growth tool, right? We want to come to growth tool, create a new growth tool, and ManyChat actually created a more simplified version. You just come to the very beginning, start step. We want to add a trigger, and in here you want to search URL. You're going to see this messenger rough URL option. Click on this once, and you definitely want to rename this. Let's rename this. Let's call this lead magnet delivery. You see it's already created this rough URL, and in here you can customize your your parameters. For example, you can say ebook download, right? And if I click on save and look at what happened to the URL, so it went from a whole bunch of numbers to this keyword ebook download. You can copy this link, send it to your friends, or leave it on your social media. Another way you can do it is you want to come to bit.ly.com. So it's a free URL shortener for those who haven't heard about it. Basically, it will turn your long URL into something short. Have an account here is free. Create, and you want to paste a long URL here, and it will automatically convert this long URL to something really short. So you can give it a quick title, and then make sure you click on save, and then this link is generated for you. So instead of sending people the long URL link, you give them this copy. And this copy looks like this, right? You can use this on your social media, on your Instagram or Facebook, any places, so people are able to click on this link and to still come to the same flow. And meanwhile, the good thing for it is when people click a lot, you can actually track a lot of data here, right? You can check what location people click, what platform they're coming from, and how many clicks on this link. So you can check the data further. So everything else is all set. When you're done with this step, click on publish, and it should be all green. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoy this lead magnet delivering process. I'm going to turn this entire flow into a template. I'll leave the link in the description. You can find them there. You can install it to your ManyChat and put them in a folder. However, I still encourage you to at least build it once yourself so you're familiar with the process. When next time when a client or someone else to ask you to build one for them, you can build them really fast like that, okay? So hope you guys enjoy this lesson, and I will see you guys in the next one. We're gonna have some more fun in this chatbot journey, and hope you enjoy this entire course so far. And I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Take care.